visual novel about exploring an Akiya with a friend. You're a photographer, and your high school summer vacation means taking on jobs whenever you can, right? The job you're on today was from your uncle in Tokyo. He's the owner of a real estate agency specializing in Akiya houses. It's not a field you're particularly familiar with. All you know is that Akiya literally means empty house. From your uncle's description, it seems like old traditional houses are abandoned in more rural parts of Japan and get resold or auctioned for cheaper prices. Sorry. Let's turn it down a little bit. And for this job, he's requested that you head over to the Kyoto Prefecture to photograph the interior of one of these Akiya houses. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible. I can't even speak English. But I'm the best. Take some nice pictures so potential customers can get a better idea of what it looks like inside. Oh, it's the uncle. It'll help to have a photographer really capture the essence of the place. Well, I trust your judgment. With that and a ticket to Kyoto, you set off on a day trip to the abandoned house. Hold on, before you go, what is your name? It's me, Clock. Well then, Clock, I wonder what you'll find. The house was quite a long way from the station, and you make a mental note to memorize the time of the last bus back. Even though it's noon, the streets are quiet. The only sounds you hear are the buzzing of cicadas and the hum of passing trains, occasionally broken by the soft ring of a distant wind chime. Before you, the wooden fence around the Akiya is long weathered. Plants fill the gaps left by loose wood and mud. Watch the streams or else, YouTube. Or else the chat from the... I'm letting chat out of the basement after you. Past the gate, stalks of bamboo peek out from the back of the residence, and patches of wild grass cover the path leading up to the entrance. You wonder how long it takes for grass to grow so tall. Yo, what are you up to? A voice calls out from down the street, interrupting your thoughts. You look over and notice a boy around your age approaching you. He's wearing a typical school uniform and has a bag thrown over one shoulder. You remember seeing a couple of students in high school uniforms on the bus ride over. Maybe he's a local student. No way. You planning on sneaking in too? He tilts his head and laughs. The sound is light and pleasant. Yo, Kakashi with the one eye? Excuse me? What? No, this is for my job. A job? What for? I'm a photographer. I'm supposed to take pictures of this empty traditional Japanese house. These photos are for my uncle's real estate company. They're going on his website for potential buyers. Seeing him tilt his head to the side, you quickly point to the camera around your neck. It's a legit project, really, even though maybe I should have gotten it written down somewhere. A photographer, huh? Cool. Say, how about I tag along? Winky face. So I'll just be going, huh? Tag along. Yep, truth be told, I've always wanted to explore this place with someone. He does seem friendly, if not a little strange for the number of layers he's wearing during summertime. Hearing what a local has to say would be interesting, but isn't this guy being a bit too forward? Well, I guess that's fine. Who are you anyways? Right, introductions. You can call me Towa. Towa, not the kanji for harmony, but eternally. I'm a second year at Miniyama High. Since we're friends now, you can speak to me casually. Sure. I'm Clock. I've been doing photography as a hobby since middle school. I go to high school in Osaka, but I'm in Kyoto today for this job. Whoa, isn't that a long trip? You must be excited for this job. Now the pay's just good? Yeah, I'm excited to explore the area. We'll start chill. We'll start nice. Just out of curiosity, what time is it in Canada right now? For EST, it is 2:45. I don't get to travel a lot because of school, so I've always wanted to visit Kyoto. It sure is a lot quieter than the big cities in Osaka. Feels like I'm in a nostalgic film. Really? It's been the same old for me. I'd love to see what it's like outside this area. Ah, I should mention, Towa's face lights up, and he excitedly turns to the Akiya before you. My grandparents used to live in a kyomachiya like this one here. Kyomachiya? Like this one here. So I learned a bit about them growing up. So I could point out its cool features to you. Wait, kyomachiya? Does that word mean a Kyoto townhouse? Yep, they're townhouses that were built in the big cities in Heian, Kyoto. So this place used to be a big city? Nope. Oh, I think my grandparents just meant they retained features of those townhouses. Who knows what the street corner looked like back then? The Heian period. Your teachers always talked about how it was a time when Japanese art and literature flourished. This was also when Kyoto was the capital of Japan. You two make your way to the entrance of the kyomachiya, dodging a few stray branches and overgrown shrubs. See these here? Towa points to a space beside the entrance. Through the foliage, you can make out a wooden bench, half obscured by vines and wild grass. What's my favorite game ever? Bastion, by, I think the company is called Super Giant Games, and they're awesome. They're the same people who made Hades. Bastion was their first game, and it's still, to this day, one of my favorite games ever. These benches would be used for displaying merchandise. Huh. They didn't put them in the windows? Wait, windows looked different back then. I remember this part. I don't at all. I'm showing off. Towa laughs, reaching up to move some vines to the side, revealing a row of thin wooden bars in place of a typical window. I used to love looking outside the koshi windows at my grandparents' place. As a kid, I could never figure out why you could see outside, but not in. Towa was right. Even with the sun beaming down behind you, the interior of the kyomachiya looked quite dark. Moving closer, you notice a layer of glass behind some of the wooden bars. Looks like this place had had some renovations since it was first built. That's really cool and all, but not for bugs. You take a couple pictures of the front garden, careful not to step off the stone path. Clock, help me open these. Towa's waiting for you at the entrance. As you approach, you notice that the kyomachiya is built on a slightly raised ledge off the ground. With your combined strength, the front door slides open with a soft creak. Towa hums, and you step inside. Oh, okay. I actually love, like, Japanese, like, architecture. It's so cool and different from, like, anywhere else. The interior of the kyomachiya feels like a whole different world. And then when they mixed it in with, like, European styles, it just looks amazing. Like, in my opinion, I just really like it. The aesthetic is just amazing. Now that you're inside, the smell of wild flowers and plants is replaced by the soft, earthy scent of cedar wood. Beams of light illuminate the large space from the ceiling, causing specks of dust to glimmer as they fall. The space is both brighter and bigger than you first expected. You recall how on the map you saw, the length of this house looked almost double its width. Before you was a familiar Genkan entrance, albeit more weathered. Okay, we're gonna be nice. We're gonna be nice this route. Everything sure looks worn out. It smells less stinky than I expected. That. I was gonna say the same thing. Towa laughs and runs his finger down a wooden beam. Must be from these. The previous owner took good care of the place. I'm surprised they lasted this long without, I don't know, looking extra worn out. Sure is impressive. Past the Genkan, there are a number of small wooden cabinets and drawers with an assortment of old pots and plates scattered about. Items belonging to the previous tenant, no doubt. On both sides, there are rooms with raised floors and tatami mats. And at the back of a long hallway, there's another door that seems to lead to a back garden. The entrance is ajar, illuminating the space from the back. Check it out, they have a little mascot. As he steps beside you, Towa immediately points to a small hand-sewn plush hanging from the side of one of the large cabinets. It looks vaguely lobster-shaped, but you can't tell for sure. You're about to step into the tatami room when you suddenly pause, looking over to Towa. It's been years. There's already layers of dust on the tatami mats. I'm sure they won't mind. Somewhere, my grandparents are looking down with shame. You both issue a silent apology to the owner for stepping on the tatami mat with your shoes on. That's like a thing? That's gross, man. Take those shoes off. Goddamn Americans wearing shoes in houses. It ain't right, okay? It ain't right. There are other pieces of wooden furniture in the room with tatami mats. Probably abandoned because it would have been more of a hassle to move. She's wearing horrors. Oh no. Disgusting. You spot a couple of wooden panels leaning against the wall. They look like a thicker version of the Koshi windows. Oh, watch your head. You could return only to bump your head onto something banging from the ceiling, sending a shower of dust on your head. You cough and cover your nose from the dust, fanning your face before taking a closer look at what you just ran into. We love... Hey, that's not why I said to not wear shoes inside your house, guys. I don't want to see your toes. Keep those dogs down. Keep those dogs away from me, okay? The object hanging from the ceiling seems to be an old charm of sorts. It's made of a small wooden plaque and bell, attached together with a braided cord. Towa looks like he's trying not to laugh, and you quickly dust yourself off in embarrassment. Covered in dust, baby. If it's a good luck charm, maybe it's a sign of good luck. Towa smiles and lightly ruffles your hair to help get the dust off. Okay, let's save. Maybe... Hey, hands off? No, we'll be nice. The dust sprites, they got me! The Susuwatari are going to take me away to the spirit world now! No! You wave your arms dramatically, causing Towa to laugh. If they do, I'll come find you. But jokes aside, I'll definitely stop you before you run into any beams. More of what now? Towa points up, and you notice that instead of a second story, there seems to be a tall attic held up by wooden beams. Doesn't it look impressive? I heard these houses would be built with just natural materials. The beams are all joined together. Speaking of materials, do you know what these are? You point to the panels at the side of the room. Looks like fusuma to me. They probably fit on these grooves in the ground. There are indeed grooves on the floor. They seem to section off this room into two. Is this guy an architect? Why does he know so much? Looks like by adding the fusuma screens, the room could be adjusted to be smaller or larger than it is now. And it's different from shoji windows? Yep, see how these look more opaque? The fusuma feels like thick cloth to the touch. Taking a closer look, there's a faint pattern on what appears to be a landscape painting. Well, it's mostly faded, and you notice scratches on the sides. It's clear a lot of work was put into making them. Say, don't you wonder why people abandon these houses? Paper houses tend to rot. Maybe it's difficult to adjust to the community? I don't know. Maybe because they need too many renovations. I mean, I'm assuming things like pipes or stoves are really old now. Even if it's a cheap house, the renovations could be really costly. I see, and I guess it'll be difficult to suddenly move away from the community you're used to. Plus, if it's a bigger household, I wonder how they'll divide up the living area. Right? It's probably a big change from what most people are used to now, huh? I've gotten used to this. I didn't know a lot of these traditional houses were fading out. That sucks though, because these houses are beautiful. Obviously when they're not in disrepair. You must have visited your grandparents a lot then. Oh, yeah, that's right. I used to see them all the time. But that was a long time ago. Towa is smiling, but the expression doesn't quite reach his eyes. You get the feeling, despite his cheerful attitude, there's something left unsaid. Don't talk to Kakashi about his family. Don't talk to him about his family. You know what happened to Kakashi's family, okay? We all know what happened to his dad. Let's try to cheer him up. Even though I'm not sure what you've been through, I'll do my best to learn more about these kyomachiya, so you can chat with me anytime. Since I know how it feels to want to talk about something, but none of your friends know anything about it. Hydrates. Yo, chat. YouTube too, get your water bottles out. We're gonna do 6 hydrates. I immediately choked. I swallowed too fast. I got 1 sip in. Chat, give me a second. I'm a little cooled off now and not the way I was expecting, chat. You better have hydrated with me, chat. I better see water all over you. Every single one of you. Okay, I'm soaking wet, so let's keep going. Towa smiles and the tension immediately dissipates. Isn't that sweet of you? Winky face. Do you say that to all the guys you meet? Well, you know what? I take back what I said. Cross your arms and turn around, while Towa laughs at your reaction. With that, the trace of nostalgia disappears. You don't give us water down here. There's a hamster water bottle feeder drip thing. Drip bottle. You suddenly notice a small space in the corner of the tatami room. Say, doesn't this corner look like a pocket shrine? Towa walks over to see what you're pointing at. The fart. Okay. It's a tokonoma. My grandparents used to keep their vase there. They said it was for aesthetic appreciation. People usually kept scrolls and flower arrangements there. You're just pointing at a random corner, but upon a closer inspection, the area did look like a space that could fit a small vase or statue. On the wall behind the tokonoma, you notice a groove that could have been used to attach a banner. You try to imagine what this space looked like when it was used as a display. But pocket shrine is a surprisingly cute description. What was that? Nothing. Jeez, you gotta speak up sometimes. By the way, don't you think the tall roofs make this kyomachiya look extra big? Plus there's a surprising amount of natural light. You look up, trying to locate the skylight along the tall beams. Clock, that's a ledge. What? The floor beneath you suddenly disappears beneath your feet, and you feel yourself falling backwards. What? Before Towa grabs you by the arm, causing you both to stumble off the raised ledge. Thud. You land with a heavy thud, but the ground beneath you feels soft. Towa! Somehow, Towa managed to sandwich himself between you and the ground before you landed, taking most of the fall. I guess I'm the top in this relationship. Sorry, Towa. You were made to be a bottom. Are you okay? You frantically look up at Towa. Thankfully, it looks like you've both stumbled onto a patch of dry grass and vines. Behind you, there's what looks like a miniature garden sitting square in the middle of the house. Don't worry. The textbooks were a nice cushion. No. What? What? Bro landed on solid textbooks, gonna crack his spine in half. Towa laughs and props himself up on one arm, picking out a dry leaf from his own hair. From the proximity, you notice that one of his eyes is a darker shade of red. And that you're basically half laying on top of him. Hey, yo? I'm so sorry, I'll get off right away. Quickly move out of the awkward position, practically jumping to your feet. A lot of saves here. A lot of saves. Okay, let's offer him a hand. We're gonna be nice. He's a complete stranger, but Towa has to be the top since you're crippled now? What do you mean? He's the one that landed down on his back. He's the one that landed on underneath me. Probably felt a little hard on there anyways. He's probably bricked up right now. Feel your face burn, quickly offering Towa a hand. Thank you. Towa takes your hand, and despite your embarrassment, you notice his hands are surprisingly cold. He's a ghost. He's a goddamn ghost. Wait. Oh no, he's a zombie. One of the two. Or he's Kakashi-sensei. Wait, you're freezing. Don't worry. Towa quickly pulls his hand back as he stands up, dusting off his sweater. It's just bad circulation. It's nice and cool inside the kyomachiya during a summer, after all. You sure you're alright? It's really nothing to worry about. Okay, another save. Let's give him some gloves, baby. Thoughtfulness. But his reassurances fall on deaf ears as you ruffle through your camera bag, pulling out a set of gloves. I've been carrying these around in case my hands get cold when I'm taking photos. In any case, please, put them on. Thank you. Jeez, I thought you were strange for wearing the winter uniform in the sun, but I understand now. Either that or he has that, I literally have someone I know in my life who has it, where their fingers circulation's really, really bad, and, like, you'll look at their hand and, like, two of their fingers are, like, completely white. Like, the rest of their hand is, like, pink or whatever shade of skin color they are. But, like, their fingers are, like, white as, like, a piece of paper. And it's, like, really weird. And you gotta warm them up because it's bad circulation. It's scary. It didn't make me any extra mysterious and charming. You're extra susceptible to catching the cold. That's that. That's what. You huff and quickly turn around, causing Towa to laugh. By the way, why is there a garden here in the first place? I didn't expect one to be sandwiched in the middle of the kyomachiya. Having an interior garden is more common than you think, or so I've heard. Sticking out your gyat for the Rizzler. Wait a second, what? Towa pushes a stray bamboo branch aside, revealing the rest of the garden. The space is smaller than you expected. Only a small patch of sunlight streaks down from above. Bamboo stalks and a veranda obscure most of the sky above. My grandparents called it Inoniwa, or Garden of Darkness. That sounds suspenseful. Towa laughs, giving you a playful nudge. Hey, I bet there's a horror novel somewhere about old houses out there. And the Suboniwa garden definitely sounds scarier than something like a chair. You'd be surprised. Say, you mentioned these photos are for a real estate company, right? What do you think is going to happen to this place after it's sold? I wonder. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, dude. There's only 3 endings. Maybe the new owner will restore it. Maybe it'll be renovated into a community center or museum. Turned into a cafe or shop. What do you think? Maybe the owner will restore it. You know, do what they can to preserve the traditional culture. Sure, it'd be really cool if younger generations are able to see what these traditional spaces look like. That would be nice. I wonder how much they'll change. Well, they'd probably have to start by cleaning up the place. Oh, and reinforcing it against earthquakes. Shoot, maybe I should have considered that before we just walked in. Hey, these pillars have been holding up surprisingly well all these years. I'm sure you don't have to worry. Oh. Wait, I get to choose? Maybe it'll be renovated into a community center or museum? Wouldn't that be cool? It wouldn't be like a community... It would be like a community center where people can visit and learn about traditional culture. Help, my computer's dying. Oh no. Is it dying? Is my computer okay? No, my computer's okay. I think you gotta restart your PC, man. That's best advice. Highlighted message. Poo. Thank you, Moss user. Thank you. Thank you for announcing you went to go take a poo. Please clean yourself up. It's like taking care of kindergartners, YouTube. That's exactly what this is. I haven't seen one myself, but I read online that they were able to reconstruct a kyomachiya just in time for the Gion festival. Oh. What's that? I heard it was a yearly traditional ward-off epidemic since all the way back to the Heian period. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't been to one, since they're held here in Kyoto. Towa laughs, looking away bashfully. Winky face? Winky face? Anybody? What can I say? Guess I've been glued to this street corner all my life. Right, I remember now. My uncle was telling me about how with the Machiya restored, the community was able to celebrate the Gion festival there again. Whoa, that sounds really incredible. Cafe or shop? I heard there's a popular cafe in Kyoto that was actually renovated from an old Akiya. My friends were talking about visiting it together. So maybe the new owner will return it into a cafe or tea shop. Here, huh? I suppose that's a lot you could do with the big rooms here. Wonder if it'll bring a lot of tourists to this area. Would probably be a lot of work. We'd like to visit a tea house like that. Sounds like it'd be really relaxing. Eh? Is that what it'll take for you to come back and visit me? What do you think? What did you miss? Just a conversation. Yeah, how about you? What would you like to happen for this place, I mean? If I'm being honest, I'm not sure. I've gotten used to this place the way it's been, just sitting in a quiet corner of the city. It'd be nice if everyone could see what this house looked like back in Heian, Japan. But it would also be nice if we could have more visitors like you. Winky face. You must be a big fan of history, huh? Just picked up what I heard. My grandparents really loved their place. When I stayed with them, they told me they didn't want to abandon the space out of respect for the older generations. That the wonderful memories they have couldn't be replaced. While to some people it might not make sense, I think they truly valued the heritage of this space. Towa gives you a rueful smile, and you take another look at the Akiya you're standing in. Where the furniture is covered by a layer of dust and plants have taken over the front and middle gardens, you imagine what the space would have looked like when it was first built. That sounds amazing, dude. Having a garden in the middle of your house, just a little thing, like just of plants and shit, really bringing in the greens, that's awesome. I love when houses have like a lot of plants. Oh, Jesus Christ, it just touched my sweater and it was covered in water. Well then, okay. Running your hand over the smooth walls, you wonder what this place meant to someone in a different time. But looks like I've been reminiscing for a while. Towa smiles and claps both hands together, pulling you from your thoughts. I'm curious, what do you do in your free time? Other than photography, that is. I usually hang out with friends, usually spend time by myself. Sometimes I hang out with friends, and I usually spend time by myself, technically. Kinda not, though. I'm a clock, so. I am clock. That's your answer, chat. It's nice to have time to yourself when you just relax. That's really nice. Recently I've gotten into this manga. You excitedly explain the premise of the series to Towa, making sure to mention how you think a side character will win over the protagonist in the end. What do you think? Do you think you'll be able to ask the protagonist on a date? I'm not sure, but I'll be cheering him on, I guess. It's really exciting. Hopefully I'll be able to find the series at a manga cafe. Manga cafe? You've really been living under a rock, huh? I've never been to one before. What's it like inside? It's really cozy. You can order a hot drink and read. It's super relaxing. Yo, can I get a cozy in chat? Can we get some cozy emotes? The new emotes in chat? You can order a hot drink and read. It's super relaxing. Yeah, cozy. But how about you? What do you usually do in your free time? Thanks, chat. Thanks, Ginger. Towa thinks for a moment. Study. Huh? You just study all the time? Well, I guess it makes sense how you memorize so many facts about the kyomachiya, but that's too much. If you didn't have to worry about entrance exams, what would you want to do? Want to, huh? I guess I would love to check out a big manga cafe someday. Going on a date sounds fun as well. Well, I'm sure there's a manga cafe somewhere in Kyoto. Wait. You've never been on a date? With your looks, good personality, respectful to elders, good grades, you've never been asked on a date? Whoa there now. What are you trying to say? I'll take you on a date. I'll take you on a date. Yeah, I meant with Riz this time. Hey, I'll take you on a date. Huh? Huh? Towa scrambles to cover his face with his hands. Looks like he was just acting cool all this time. Didn't expect you to double down. Hahaha. I win. Maybe you could just tease him a bit more. Jeez, if you hate it so much. What? Not at all. I would like that very much. You grin at his flustered expression, giving him a light tap on his shoulder. It's a date then. How about we figure out the details once we're done here? Towa laughs. The sound is warm and reassuring. Sounds good. With a new spring in your step, make your way toward the end of the hallway. I think this is something, I feel like I already know the twist on this, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we're gonna get a date so soon. The back door slides open with some difficulty. Stepping outside, you're greeted by the smell of wildflowers and the warm sun on your face. This must be the Okuniwa. Sure is hot out here. Towa was right. The back garden is a lot brighter than the Suboniwa garden. The sound of cicadas fill your ears, and your eyes take a moment to adjust to the sun. The garden is also a lot larger than the one tucked in the center of the kyomachiya. It's filled with stalks of bamboo, wild grass, and very old trees. Tucked in the corner, vines half obscure what looks to be a stone lantern. The lantern is sitting in front of another structure, most likely a storage space. But the centerpiece of the garden is what catches your eye. At the end of the stone path, a small moss-covered shrine sits against a tall bamboo fence. Whoa, the owner must have maintained this well. Approaching the shrine, you notice the detailed stone and wooden carvings that decorate its interior. Looks like a small Shinto shrine. You're vaguely familiar with Shinto beliefs. It's one of the indigenous religions in Japan, where people worshipped various spirits, or kami, which represented various forces of nature. You also recall how a teacher said these shrines are considered a sacred space. Towa crouches beside you, admiring the delicate woodworking of the small shrine. Say, do you believe in kami? Another save? Okay, yeah, I believe in the kami. Stretch check? Everybody, YouTube. Really get a crack in. Get a crack your neck. Crack those knucks. Crack that. Shake that ass. Do something. Kami. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Posture check after. Make sure your feet are flat on the ground. If you're sitting down, back straight. That was a good stretch, yeah. Well, a lot of people do to an extent, right? The term kami is sometimes translated as a god or spirit, but in reality, they represent many different things, don't they? Ding ding ding, my grandparents told me they could be anything from a creator deity to famous spirits of the dead, even powerful and unnatural phenomena. Aren't they usually worshipped at a shrine or associated with sacred objects? I haven't visited many Shinto shrines, but I heard there's all kinds of kami out there. It's always been interesting to me how people can worship different kami for different purposes. I heard during festivals or rituals, you might even be able to encounter one. I suppose that's what some people believe. Sorry, this question was a bit out of the blue. Wow. No, I don't mind. Wonder if this is a shrine for the kami this household made offerings to. No. Upon closer inspection, there's a small plaque on its side. While any paint that was once covering the sides have faded, you're still able to make out an inscription in kanji.
Hello there.
Are you just spending all your points? With your phone's translator app, you might be able to read what it says. This is one man using all the sound effects with his grit. Towa suddenly exclaims, and when you look up to him to see him searching for something in his pocket. Seems like I dropped something on the way. I should go look for it. Oh, let me help. Don't worry about it. I'll just check my pockets again. Give me a minute to see if I can translate this. Then we'll look around together. Towa nods, and you crouch to get a closer look at the wooden plaque. I ran out of grit. Do I like sinks? I mean, I have a few sinks in my house. It's a short poem, but upon closer inspection, and I mean, I do like to wash my hands. But upon closer inspection, the kanji looks strange. Well, it's more like the words' meanings are all over the place. After typing the first words into a search bar, you suddenly realized what was off. Instead of Japanese kanji, the writing is actually in an old Chinese script, characteristic of the pre-Heian writing system. Changing the language setting on the app, the plaque reads as follows. With humble gifts, we ask for your protection, to cherish our memory, our lives, and culture. For the day the front door slides open again, when time has washed away all memories of us. To the kami of this land, you'll be here to guide them eternally. You remember Towa's explanation of kami, how households would worship many different deities for different purposes. This poem appears to be a description of the kami the previous owners worshipped. Yet the last word seems familiar, as if it has a different meaning. Yo, Towa's name! Eternally. That's what Towa's name means. Isn't this the kanji for Towa's name? To the kami of this land, you'll be here to guide them. Eternally. Haha. Right, introductions. You can call me Towa. Towa, not the kanji for harmony, but eternally. I'm a second year at Miniyama High. Since we're friends now, you can speak to me casually. The kami this inscription is dedicated to is Towa? The sun suddenly feels too warm and cicadas are chirping too loud. Hey, Towa? You turn, but he's no longer behind you. You stand up with the start, the sudden motion making you dizzy. Towa, are you there? You're running toward the house now, the meaning of the poem slowly piecing together. Maybe you've got it all wrong. Maybe it's just a coincidence and Towa is standing behind the door. Maybe he's actually a kami. The one who passes on their knowledge and information about their culture to a newcomer to guide them through the house once the door reopens? I only saw him after I opened the gate. You throw open the back door, causing it to slam into the wall. The sound echoes down the long empty corridor. All this time, Towa wasn't describing his grandparents' existence. He was describing his own life, watching over each generation as the kami residing in this house. His deeply personal remarks about the kyomachiya, his surprising lack of experience traveling to different places, the peculiar way he suddenly appeared when you arrived, his question, asking if you believed in kami. Towa, where are you? No! Kakashi wasn't real! No! He's real, he's a god. Dude, we're gonna go bang God. A god. You run through the kyomachiya, shouting his name while looking in the rooms you passed together earlier. The layout hasn't changed, and yet the space feels larger, more empty. Towa! Oh, you burst out the front door and Towa turns, standing at the edge of the road. I was just gonna check the street. Okay. Who are you? Are you really a kami? You yell out the words before you can stop yourself, catching both of you off guard. Towa stands at the edge of the garden, frozen, as you quickly walk towards him. Come on, you gotta tell me if I'm dating a kami. That'd be pretty badass. Your name? Why was it on the shrine in the back garden? Are you actually the kami the plaque describes? You saw the inscription, huh? Does that mean it's true then? That you're not actually a human? You're right, I'm not. There was no smart remark, no flirty comeback. I'm a kami. Towa's words had a weight of finality to it. Seeing your reaction, he smiles ruefully, playing with the braided cord in his hair. You're kidding, right? You let the question leave your mouth, but its expression gives you all the answers you need. Towa softly sighs. He's suddenly standing too far, like he can turn the corner and suddenly vanish. Ever since I woke up here, decades, centuries ago, I've been living in a weightless, in-between world. Well, maybe that was a bit too poetic. I guess I've just gotten used to listening to all the stories I've heard, without being able to speak to anyone. Kami are everything and nothing. Objects, representations of emotions, states of the universe. The only thing I know for certain is that I am not human. Don't say that. What? That I'm not human? I'm only repeating the truth. Don't say that. We got a date. The worlds of kami and humans are separate. But there must be exceptions. You said so yourself. That during festivals or rituals that kami can interact with this world. You step closer, over the overgrown path and stalks of bamboo until you're face to face with Towa. And right now, if you're really so many worlds apart, how are we talking right now? I'm not sure. Seems like you're special, Towa winks. He's trying to lighten the mood, but you really can't put up with his antics right now. Isn't this what you wanted? To be able to learn about the world? To chat with people casually like this? It is. And don't pretend you weren't about to just leave without saying anything. Why are you content with just disappearing? You didn't realize how much you raised your voice until you paused. The silence that follows almost stings, ringing louder than the cicada's chirps. You know that I can't really be your friend. I'm only here because it's where my shrine was built. And this corner of the street is everything I've ever known. Today was fun. It's the most exciting day I've had in a long time. So I'll be content existing in your mind as a passing summer memory. So I should go quickly before this goodbye gets awkward. But you don't let Towa finish, pulling him into a hug. Riz him up, baby. He's stiff for a moment before softly returning the hug. There, I'm still here. Wasn't planning on disappearing on you, really. Well, his words are reassuring. The way his voice dips isn't. You're a big liar, you know. But I really am standing here. Didn't you say we were gonna go on a date? Huh? You can't just say that and pretend it didn't happen. I was looking forward to it, you know? You can't stand me up, bro. You gotta go on a date with the homie. Come on. I see. Towa laughs, softly patting the back of your head. What's that for? Sorry. It's just that earlier I thought you wouldn't even notice if I suddenly left. What? How could you say that? You're being so unfair, you know that? That'd be awful. Leaving without knowing if something happened to you and never being able to talk to you again? So don't go disappearing on me. I'll be worried, you know? Plus, I want to learn more about you. If that's something you want, of course. I'd like that very much, you know? Towa laughs, and it's the same light, pleasant sound as you first met. Thank goodness. In that moment, just as long as you knew he wasn't going to disappear, it was enough. Good. I'll definitely find a way for you to visit the rest of Kyoto. I'm sure if I look it up, there has to be a way Kami can move more freely. Please take this. Towa slides his bracelet off his wrist, holding it for you. The red string is delicately woven with an intricate design, and a small bell is woven in the center. Kami can only be moved within a shrine, but I learned early on that this kumihimo allowed me to travel to the cities if someone carries it with them. It's not like a proper ceremony, which means I can always return here. They'll just let me explore it outside the neighborhood. You're saying... I won't always be bugging you, of course. It only gives me the option of visiting the recipient of this bracelet. If it's too much to ask, you don't need to accept. You could do this the whole time? I didn't want to be a bother. Plus, I didn't want to impose. Since you've been so kind. You interrupt his stammering by pulling him into a tight hug. Yo, that means he's physical, baby. Towa laughs, returning the bear hug. I'll take that as an, I'll consider it then. Wouldn't you like to know? Pull away and try to put a faux serious face, but it's impossible not to smile at Towa's happy expression as you laugh together. While you can't call yourself an expert, it feels like you've learned just a little more about these traditional Kyoto houses today. That you can appreciate the heritage of this space just a little more to have a better understanding of Japanese culture. And also, you were able to make a precious new friend. Oh, we're gonna ride God's dong. Oh no. So, should we go on a date today? Good end. Plans for a date. Endings 2 out of 3. Let's go! Chat, we're dating a god! PogChamp. Can I get some poggies in chat? YouTube, how you liking this song? It's a banger, right? We got the good end on the first try. That's a PogChamp. Thank you for the poggies. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get those other endings. You know we're gonna get the other endings. But I feel like it's not too bad, right? It won't be too hard. I guess the easiest one is I can go back to maybe this, and I can say no. I don't know. I just don't really get it. The term kami is sometimes translated as a goddess spirit, but in reality, okay, that's the same dialogue. I never thought about it that way. I totally understand. I haven't visited many Shinto shrines, but I heard that there's all kinds of kami people worship for different reasons. Okay, this is different. Heard during festivals or rituals, you might even be able to encounter one. I suppose that's what some people believe. Sorry, this question is a bit out of the blue. No, I don't mind. I mean, I wonder if this is a shrine for this kami this household made offerings to. Small plaque on the side. Okay, so this is the same. Oh, I'll come with you. Thanks. I'll be quick. Oh wait, this is different. We're going with him this time? Quickly grab your bags, taking a couple pictures of the back garden before the both of you retrace your steps in the kyomachiya. Towa explains it's a bracelet similar to the one he's wearing, that it may have fallen out of his pocket along the way. Okay, a little bit different this time. Where you carefully scan the rooms you visited, you eventually find yourself at the front of the house to no avail. Jeez, I might have dropped it on the way over. I should go back to check. Thanks again for helping me look, though. No worries, I can come with you if you'd like. Swing your camera bag over your one shoulder, but Towa quickly shakes his head. That's alright. You've already done so much. Thank you for spending time with me today. This is the most fun I've had in a while. Jeez, you gotta relax more often. Next time, you should visit me in Osaka. I'd like that a lot. Goodbye, Clock. Towa waves and heads down the street from where you came. You turn back to the kyomachiya. Well, you can't call yourself an expert. I feel like you've learned just a little more about these traditional Kyoto houses today. You can't remember all the small details, the names of festivals, or details about kami, but everyone starts somewhere, right? To learn, to pass on knowledge, to believe wholeheartedly that the cultural heritage these kyomachiya carry is worth the time and effort that goes into renovations, preservation, and raising awareness. Even though you're not an expert, you can appreciate Japanese architecture just a bit more. Plus, you're able to make a new friend along the way. Ah, we should exchange contact information. But as you turn and look down the street, Towa is already gone. Will you see him again? Will he come visit you in Osaka? How is he gonna visit you if you don't know anything about him? You're not sure, but maybe that's okay too. To exist in a space of nostalgia, to remain as just a fond summer memory. Neutral end, summer memory. Endings 1 out of 3. Usually hang out with friends, whatever, skip. Well, I'll take you there as a friend. This is the option I didn't pick, okay? I'll have the stream open on multiple tabs so you can have a higher chance of no ads. What? Oh my god. Chat? What's going on, chat? Are you trying to break the system? I'll take you there as a friend. The true end is friendship, brothers, not dating, okay? I know. We can go check out a mango cafe together. It'll be really fun. I'll even show you around the city. I can also invite my other friends, so that way you'll know even more people from Osaka. Towa looks at you, surprised by the enthusiasm, you quickly add. Only if you'd like, though. I don't want to drag you anywhere you don't want to. No, sounds fun. I'd love that a lot. I don't usually get to meet a lot of new people, so this is already really exciting. Say, you seem outgoing, but are you secretly shy after all? Huh? You resist the urge to laugh at his flustered expression, giving him a hearty pat on the shoulder. Hey, don't worry about it. Since we're already friends, I got your back. I even promise we won't get lost in the train system. Maybe. Towa laughs at your determined expression. The sound is warm and reassuring. I'm really looking forward to it then. With a new spring in your step, you make your way towards the end of the hallway. Later, Clock, I'll catch the rest on YouTube. Yeah, no worries. Have a good one. Penguin, nice to see you. The back door slides open with some difficulty, stepping outside. Okay, this is the same. Yes. Well, a lot of people do to an extent, right? Okay, so this is the same. Okay, this is all the same. So we're gonna skip to where... Seems like I dropped something out on the way. I should go look for it. Okay. Let me help. Translate this. So he leaves. We translate this. We translate it, and now we're looking for him, okay? This is the last game of the day. Yeah, I think it will probably be the last game of the day. We're just about done. He's a kami. But I think most of this is the same. Towa! Okay. I was just gonna check the street. You really a kami? But you promised. I said if I had time for another one, we'd play another one. So Spider and the other game will have to wait. You'll yell out the words before you can stop yourself, catching both of you off guard. Towa stands. If we didn't have technical difficulties today, we would have played more. But yeah, like if I didn't have like a whole hour of technical issues, then yeah. When is the next stream? Maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking. Maybe tomorrow, late. It'll be an 8 p.m. EST stream though. Towa stands at the edge of the garden, frozen as you quickly walk towards him. Your name. Why was it on the shrine in the back garden? Are you actually the kami the plaque describes? Saw the inscription, huh? Okay, this is the same. I'm a kami. You're kidding, right? Let the question leave your mouth, but its expression gives you all the answers you need. Towa softly sighs. He's suddenly staying too far, like he turned the corner and suddenly vanish. Ever since I woke up here decades, centuries ago, I've been living in a weightless, in-between world. Well, maybe that's a little bit too poetic. I guess I've just gotten used to listening to all the stories I've heard without being able to speak to anyone. Okay, so I'm not human. Don't say that. What? That I'm not human? I'm only repeating the truth. Worlds of kami and humans are separate. Must be some exceptions. You said so yourself, that during festivals or rituals that kami can interact with the world. I mean, he's interacting with us now. Step closer over the overgrown path and stalks of bamboo until you're face to face with Towa. And right now, if we're really so many worlds apart, how are we talking right now? I'm not sure. Seems like you're special, Towa winks. He's trying to lighten the mood, but you really can't put up with his antics right now. Isn't this what you wanted? To be able to learn about the world? To chat with people casually like this? It is. Don't pretend you weren't about to just leave without saying anything. Why are you content with just disappearing? Didn't realize how much you raised your voice until you paused. The silence that follows almost stings, ringing louder than the cicada's chirps. You know that I can't really be your friend. I'm only here because it's where my shrine was built, and this corner of the street is everything I've ever known. Today was fun. It's the most exciting day I've had in a long time, so I'll be content existing in your mind as a passing summer memory. So I should quickly go before this goodbye gets awkward. Before Towa could finish, you grab his hand with your own. They're cold, and in this moment you wonder if these are the hands of a stranger. But despite it all, you know it's still him. He's frozen for a moment, before slowly raising up his other hand to hold yours. There, I'm still here. Plus, we're friends now, aren't we? Isn't this what you wanted? You act smart, but you're also so dense. Uh-huh. You said we were friends, but I don't think you know what that means. Being friends with someone isn't only sharing things with them, listening to their thoughts and giving yourself up for someone else. It's figuring things out together because you know you aren't alone. And even though it might be easier to hide or run away, being friends means you're there for each other. And you are a precious friend to me now. You're a homie. You know what homies do? Homies kiss homies. Get over here, Towa. Mwah. No homo. So don't go disappearing on me. I'll be worried, you know. Plus, I want to learn more about you. If that's something you want, of course. Towa laughs, and it's the same light, pleasant sound as you first met. I like that very much, you know. Thank goodness. In that moment, just as long as you knew he wasn't going to disappear, it was enough. Good. I'll definitely find a way for you to visit the rest of Kyoto. I'm sure if I look it up, there has to be a way kami can move more freely. Say, can you hold out your hand for a moment? Please, take this. Towa slides his bracelet off his wrist, holding it for you. The red string is delicately woven with an intricate design, and a small bell is woven in the center. Kami can only be moved within a shrine, but I learned early on that this kumihimo allowed me to travel to the cities if someone carries it with them. It's not like a proper ceremony, which means I can always return here. It'll just let me explore outside the neighborhood. You're saying... I won't always be bugging you, of course. It only gives me the option of visiting the recipient of this bracelet. If it's too much to ask, you don't need to accept. You could do this the whole time? You could be a homie for real? I didn't want to be a bother. Plus, I didn't want to impose. Since you've been so kind. You interrupt his stammering by pulling him into a tight hug. Yeah, get over here, homie. Towa laughs, returning the bear hug. I'll take that as an I'll consider it then? Wouldn't you like to know? Pull away and try to put on a faux serious face, but it's impossible not to smile and laugh at Towa's happy expression as you laugh together. But you can't call yourself an expert. It feels like you've learned just a little more about these traditional Kyoto houses today. That you can appreciate the cultural heritage of the space just a little bit more. And also, you're able to make a precious new friend. So, shall we explore Kyoto City together? Nice. True end. Friends. Ending 3 out of 3. Let's go. Okay. A little bit hard to get that ending, I'm not gonna lie. Because I forgot you could choose to be friends. Wait a second. I've been playing these visuals novels for so goddamn long, I forgot that being friends is an option. Wait, it isn't just being dumped and dating? There's friends? What the fuck? No, this was good. I actually really liked the story. I learned a lot about, Japanese houses. I think Japanese houses are awesome, by the way. Like I said earlier on in the video, I think they're some of the coolest looking architecture is when you have like traditional Japanese houses kind of mixing in with like Western designs. Just a little bit. I'm not talking like modern designs either. I'm talking just like old school Western, from that period of time where they really interacted with America and Britain and all that. So I'm locked in the Rizzler mode. True, I'm locked in for Riz. I can't turn it off, boys and girls. I just can't. It's always with me. Anyways, guys, girls, everybody, thank you so much for watching. This has been Clock, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video. And if you did, please leave a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. And if you're interested in seeing any more visual novels like this one, or maybe a horror game, or maybe just a different type of weird game altogether, subscribe to my channel. You'll find something you like, I'm sure. I upload daily, okay? So, anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, and see you next time, okay? Peace.